It's 5 o'clock. We'll call our meeting to order. I'd like to remind everybody to sign in. If you didn't, sign in on the table back there. Let's stand please for invocation. We do have a quorum here and pledge of allegiance. Joe, would you please indicate?
Yes, sir. Heavenly Father, once again, we thank you for the day and all the many ways that you blessed us today. Ask you for the wisdom of the city council to be able to take care of the city of West Orange's business, Lord, and to be pleasing to you. I do want to thank you for every one of our employees, Lord, from the girls up here at the front, of course, John and Michael, and then the police department, the fire department, Lord, be with each and every one of them as they make calls, whether it be policemen or firemen making fire calls, Lord, just be with each one of them, each employee, Lord, in a special way to keep them safe. Again, we just thank you so much for the day. That's my prayer in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you, flag. Honor and defend the flag. Pledge allegiance to the government, one state, under God, one and indivisible. Please be seated. All right, next item is discussion and possible action on approval of the minutes of the April 17, 2023 city council meeting.
Make a motion that we accept the approval of the minutes of the April 17th, 2023 city council meeting as presented. Second.
We have a motion and a second for approval of the council meeting for April 17, 2023. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, I'll call for vote. All in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed? Motion carries. And we have a presentation of council certificates for those with expiring terms. I would. We have yes, I can show everybody. This one is for Maria, our mayor pro tem, and it's got a whole $2 bill. That represents 2 years of payment for all the things that you done. $2 bill.
Thank you.
And we also have one for Brent Derrick. Try not to spend it all in one, and I have one for me. Get it all in one.
Go get some bubble gum.
All right, our next item is, and I would like to go ahead and thank y'all also for your service for the past 2+ years. And we really appreciate your being on the council and being good people to work with.
Amen.
All right, so time now for our public comments. At this time, comments will be taken from the audience on any subject matter, whether or not that item is on the agenda. All comments are limited to a maximum of 3 minutes for each speaker. If more than one person wishes to address the same subject, a spokesperson must be selected, who will be recognized to represent the group. Your comments are appreciated. The Texas Open Meetings Act does not allow the council to discuss items not listed on the agenda. However, if possible, your question may be answered with statement of policy, statement of fact, or it may be placed on a future agenda for attention by council. You also may be directed to the appropriate department head to address your questions or problems. Is there anybody that would like to address council at this time? All right, we're moving on. Reports and comments from city staff.
Mayor, the construction projects have not changed since last month. We're still waiting on the generator to be delivered. And of course, the wastewater treatment plan is still under review by the EDA. Building official issued 28 permits this past month, and 22 permits were completed. Sanitation, 14 loads of green waste, 14 cubic yards of C&D. Animal control took 95 calls with 22 intakes, of which 7 were owner surrendered by residents of the city. On the outgoing, 2 claimed, 1 adopted, and 3 rescued, no court filings. The street, department, they performed 900 foot of, cleaning ditches this past month. And continuous patching of roadways for, utility cuts. We've got a lot of utility cuts in the city right now. Of course, park mowing is continuing, shop, nothing new to report there.
No, thank you.
Police department, we had 66 traffic contacts, 1 crash reported, 71 arrests, 22 reports, 344 calls for service, 9,970 miles driven. On the commercial motor vehicle legislation, that goes to the Transportation Committee to meet and discuss tomorrow. Senator Nichols said he didn't see any issues with it at this point in time, so it already passed the House, it's going to the Senate. And hurricane season begins in 23 days.
Boy. Thank you, Mike. Teresa, do you have any?
The only thing I have is the website. It's almost there, but not quite. We run into a glitch with the forms. The submit button on the forms, the way we had it, is not working. So I may have to redo all of them. So we may go ahead and get the website going without forms and just add them one at a time as I can get them done. So that hopefully will be upset.
Thank you. Fire department?
For the month of April, we responded to 1 trash fire, 2 gas leaks, 3 medical assists, 1 motor vehicle collision, 2 service calls, one mutual aid unit. We had 2 good intents, canceled and out for our month of 10 for the month of April. That's why we like it. Everything else is going good. We're getting, we're getting electrical work done this week. So we get we're using our machine now, extension cord, but we'll have the electrical done, we'll be up and running full on that. Everything else, we're trucking along.
All right. Thank you. Appreciate all the work that all the department is doing. Keeps the city running and makes my job easier too. So. That's good. All right, so we got to do a canvas. Moving on to our regular session, we got to do a canvas of the May 6th, 2023 general election that we did not hold. So it was canceled March 13th by a council vote, and we have a certification here from our city secretary that says his authority responsible for having the official ballot prepared. I hereby certify that the following candidates are unopposed for election to office for the election scheduled to be held on May 6th, 2023. As Mayor Randy Branch, Alderman Marita Kennedy, and Alderman Brent Herring. And so we'll move on now to our issuance of statements of elected officers. Is
I don't
issue,
know.
I just got all the statements, okay.
We're going to do Mayor Branch first, then I'll do the statements.
You got to do statement. Okay. That's our bid. I can go ahead and sign it. We'll have to read that.
No, no.
It just says that you have to give up an arm and a leg. Give up the $2.
$2 or $2.
Don't make the $2. All right. Next item on our agenda is issuance of oaths of office for, myself, for Marita and for Brent. You want to do all three of us at
I'm
once?
gonna do you, and then we'll do them too.
Okay.
When you stand up there. You.
Well, no, I'm gonna have to-
Okay. If you will raise your right hand and repeat after me, I, Randy Grant,
I, Randy Brant,
do solemnly swear or affirm
do solemnly swear or affirm
that I will faithfully execute the duties
that I will faithfully execute the duties
of the office of mayor of the city of West Orange
of the office of mayor of the city of West Orange
in the state of
and the
Texas,
state of Texas,
and to the best of my ability,
and will to the best of my ability
preserve, protect, and defend
preserve, protect, and defend
the Constitution and laws of the United States and of this state.
the Constitution and laws of the United States and of this state,
So help me
so
God.
help me God.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Tracy Marzan or Tracy.
I did turn mine off. I just threw it under the books. Now go down there.
With the end of the chocolate. Okay, if you will both repeat after me, I, Marita Kennedy, Brent Dillon,
I, Marita Kennedy,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will faithfully execute the duties of the office of alderman
that I will faithfully execute the duties of office of alderman
of the city of West Orange
of the city of West Orange
and of the state of Texas,
and of the state of Texas,
and to the best of my ability preserve,
and to the best of my ability preserve,
protect, and defend the Constitution and laws of the United States and of this state.
protect, and defend the Constitution and laws of the United States and of this state, so help me God.
So help me God. Okay, congratulations.
All right, so. Issuance of oaths of office, that's taking care of that. And presentation of certificates of election. Okay.
They need to be signed.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna sign two of them and Marie's gonna sign one. So since it should be right that I sign my own certificate of election. So I have to sign these. That's good. Yeah, just making sure we got all our I's dotted and the T's crossed. So this says, in the name and by the authority of the state of Texas, this is certified that at a general election scheduled to be held on May the 6th, 2023, Marita Kennedy was unopposed and therefore duly elected alderman of the city of West Orange, Texas. And the same thing for Brent Deere, unopposed. Now. So we've taken care of the presentation of certificates of election. We're moving on to item 5, discussion and possible action on election of mayor pro tem.
Mr. Mayor, I make the nomination that we have Marita Kennedy serve again as mayor pro tem.
I'll second the motion.
We have a motion and a second to nominate Marita Kennedy as mayor pro tem. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, I'll call for a vote. All in favor, say aye. All opposed, no. Motion carries. Congratulations, Marita. You got it again. All right, discussion and possible action on approval of the following mayoral appointments. City attorney, municipal court judge, let me start. City attorney is Chris Levin, municipal court judge is Carl Thibodeau, municipal court judge alternate is J.O. West Orange Volunteer Fire Department Chief is David Roberts, and West Orange Volunteer Fire Department Assistant Chief is Sammy Gibson. And so, is there any, I'd like to nominate those folks for those positions.
I'll second.
We have a motion and a second.
That would be his would probably be the motion.
I'm sorry, I said I'd like to nominate. I should have said I'd like to make a motion that we accept those, these people as our mayoral appointments.
And I'll second that, Mr. Mayor.
Okay, so we have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, I'll call for vote. All in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed, no. Motion carried. Administration of statements of appointed officials and oaths of office for appointed officials. You want to do Carl and then first? Well, that is already there, so better do, and Chris and David and Tim. Yes, we did. So you have to, everyone has to sign a statement and then they'll have to give it. So we got all those? I had one. Yeah, you can go through that and.
Okay.
It's their way around.
You'll raise your right hand. You repeat after me. I, Christopher Levin,
I, Christopher Levin,
do solemnly swear or affirm
do solemnly swear or affirm
that I will faithfully execute the duties of the office of city attorney
that I will faithfully execute the duties of the office of city attorney,
of the city of West Orange
city of West Orange,
and of the state of Texas,
and the state of Texas,
and will to the best of my ability
will to the best of my ability
preserve, protect, and defend
preserve, protect, and defend
the Constitution and laws of the United States
the Constitution and laws of the state of the United States
and of this state.
and of this state.
So help me God.
Oh, God.
That's
Two states in there.
it. David, raise your right hand. Repeat after me. I, David Roberts,
I, David Roberts,
do solemnly swear or affirm
do solemnly swear and affirm
that I will faithfully execute the duties of the office
I will faithfully execute the duties of office
of West Orange
of West Orange,
Volunteer Fire Department Chief,
Volunteer Fire Department Chief,
the city of West Orange,
the city of West Orange,
the state of Texas,
the state of Texas,
and will do the best of my ability
and I'll do the best of my ability
to preserve, protect, and defend
to preserve, to protect, and defend
the Constitution and laws of the United States
the Constitution and laws of the United States
and of this state.
and of this state.
So help me
So
God.
let me go.
Hi. Then if you would raise your right hand and repeat after me. I, Cindy Gibson,
City Gibson,
do solemnly swear or affirm
do solemnly swear or affirm
that I will faithfully execute the duties of the office of Let's go ahead and volunteer fire department assistant.
That I will faithfully execute the duties of the office of West Orange Volunteer Fire Chief, Assistant Fire Chief for the city of West Orange
and the state of Texas,
and the state of Texas,
and will do the best of my ability
and will do the best of my ability
to preserve, protect, and
preserve, protect, and defend
the Constitution and laws of the United States
the Constitution and law of the United States
and of this state.
and of this state.
So help me
So
God.
help me God.
Jay, Carl right there. Yeah.
I'm gonna do it better.
Okay.
You ready? I, Jay Odom,
I, Jay Odom,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will faithfully execute
that I will faithfully execute
the duties of the office
the duties of the office
of alternate municipal court judge
of alternate municipal court judge
of the city of West
of
Orange
the city of West Orange
and of the state of Texas,
and of the state of Texas,
and will, to the best of my ability,
and will, to the best of my ability,
preserve, protect, and defend
preserve, protect, and defend
the Constitution and laws of the United States
the Constitution and laws of the United States
and of this state,
and of this state,
so help me God.
so help me God.
I, Carl Thibodeau,
I, Carl Thibodeau,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will faithfully execute
that I will faithfully execute
the duties of the office
the duties of the office
of municipal court judge
of municipal court judge
of the city of West Orange
of the city of West Orange
and of the state of Texas,
and of the state of Texas,
and will, to the best of my
and
ability,
will, to the best of my ability,
preserve, protect, and defend
preserve, protect, and defend
the Constitution and laws of the United States
the Constitution and law of the United States
and of this state,
and of this state,
so help me God.
so help me God. Thank you for your. It is special with Maria, I mean, Teresa's letting you use it, keep it.
That's right.
Thank you, Teresa. Yeah. Thank you, Mayor. Appreciate you. Thank you, sir. Appreciate your comment. I get hugged with this. Hey, Mac, I appreciate all the confidence the council showed in me. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you, David, Cindy, for your dedication, your leadership, your volunteering.
Community.
What cities?
For all the work that's done on getting the fire department, where it is in the front back, and we appreciate it.
The best.
The good part.
I'm not saying in the 1970s, when I was on the volunteer fire department, that we were bad, but the current group of people, current volunteers, is superior to what we have. The city is safer having you guys doing what you're doing.
Appreciate it.
All right, so we're gonna move on to item number 8, discussion and possible action on accepting into record the quarterly investment report for January through March 2023. Your agenda items may say amended, but that is not correct. Mine says it's scratched out, so that's what we'll go by.
Make a motion that we accept the, quarterly investment report for January through March 2023 as presented.
Second.
We have a motion and second is to accept the quarterly investment report for January through March 2023. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, I'll call for vote. All in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed, no. Nay, motion carried. All right, we're gonna move on to item number 9. Discussion and possible action on a request submitted by Chad Eldridge pertaining to 2025 State Street. Is Mr. Eldridge? Microphone over there. Everybody will be able to hear you better.
I came before the council, one time before, and I was told to get the property cleaned up and pay back taxes, and I'm here to tell you that it's mowed, it's looking good. I have almost all of the old fencing tore out already. I'm going over there, as often as I can cleaning, and I've spent quite a few dollars on it so far, and I keep planning, to improve it more at some point. Possibly next summer, I'm gonna put some type of home on it. I don't know what yet, but I am gonna put a home on it. That's my goal.
And so you're wanting us to give the lien and the interest waiver?
Yes, sir. Please.
All right.
I'd like to move that the council approve releasing the lien that they have on the property at 2025 State Street, with the condition that Mr. Eldridge pay a $500 administrative fee to recover our cost in the lien, placing the lien and releasing the lien.
We have a motion. Is there a second? Hearing none, hearing no second being made, we just drop this motion. Motion.
The property, the grant money that was used for this,
Excuse me just a minute. I need to make a second so we can talk about it legally.
Yeah.
Yes.
If you'd like to make a second, yes, we can talk.
That way,
If you already declared it failed, then you would have to make it.
Okay, make the motion over again.
okay. I would like to make a motion that the city release the lien at 2025 State Street, on property owned by Chad Eldridge. The city got grant money that does not have to be paid back.
I'll second it. I'll second the motion.
All right, we make a motion to release the lien,
Release the lien.
and give the interest
Contingency of that.
on 2025 State Street. With the condition
With a $500 administrative fee to cover the city's cost for putting the lien on and releasing.
How much is the lien? And the principal and interest?
3150, I believe.
Is that include interest or is that just the lien?
No, that's just what it costs.
Yes, sir. I second that.
It was 11,000, a little over 11,000 with interest. That was 16 years.
And the grant was? My thing is that, yes, the grant was used for that, but had we not used it for the demolition of that property, it could have been used for another property within the city, and we have several properties within the city that need to be demolished. And I think we have a responsibility to the citizens of West Orange to recover that could be used for another property.
No, wait. This was a long time ago, and there was still $48,000 that the city did not use from that grant money.
This was back in 2005, after the first hurricane.
And it had.
This is old, this is
2005.
This hasn't recent.
It was demolished in July of 2008. The
Yeah,
house was. And so, had the total on it was $3,150 is what the lien is.
yeah.
There was just under $12,000 interest built up on that. So,
Do you have a receipt for the taxes that's paid?
Okay. When did you acquire the property, Mr. Eldridge?
I bought it from my parents in 1998, I think it was. And then I had it, refinanced in, I think, 2000.
What type of structure are you thinking about on this property?
A modular home. Something, it has to be, I think, 36 inches up off the ground because it is considered a flood zone now. But, and I want something that's on a foundation. I don't want a mobile home or anything like that. It's gonna be something nice.
Is there anything in the grant that would prohibit that? You see,
The only thing that requires is that we had to file a letter.
I failed to bring the notes from the minutes from when he has came previously. And it was indicated that if he took care of the back taxes, that we probably would go ahead and release the lien.
Well, that
He was
wasn't
wanting to
said.
release the lien before he paid the back taxes.
Where's the minutes?
Yeah, that was not
I
said,
remember.
but it was asked that he pay the back taxes and they come back to the city.
that's what that's the part I remember.
Yeah.
I don't remember us saying we would
Right, release the lien.
automatically release the.
Right.
The grant money from that time period was not all used. It still had a tremendous amount left over.
And that grant money, Mike, if you can remember, was that grant money specifically for from the disaster
Yes,
and the houses that were
it was
affected by the
demolition
disaster?
of vacated properties from the hurricane. At that point in time, he wasn't living in the house, and then he never went back to the house.
Okay.
So I came to council and bought property that the city had a lien on. And the city forgave that lien with the same condition of $500, and I had to take care of all the back taxes on it, and, it's all part of the same grant money. But I've already done it once, before I was council, actually before I even moved back to West Orange. That was where I was gonna move to. The building cost too much, it was ridiculous what it would cost to have a house built.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any more discussion?
I have no problem forgiving the interest and any penalties on it, but I think the principal should be repaid.
How much is that?
Because he owned the property at the time that you know, it's not the situation like yours where you bought a property. He owned the property at the time. And I feel like he should pay the principal, and I have no problem forgiving any interest and penalties.
I tend to agree with Lane. on that.
That's a loss for the tax.
It's $3,150 to pay the lien and forgiving the interest. Less than, a little less than 12,000, I think is. Right way to go as well.
It wasn't a grant.
Judge, you have a comment?
I'm not gonna comment. I'm in the audience. I have a lot of comments on it, but I'm not gonna say. Been down there many times. I could say something, I think I will. You have to consider, and I know where you're coming from, if I'm allowed to speak.
Sure, go ahead.
Okay. It's just that you don't want to deter anybody from getting the blighted property in West Orange and develop it. And if they're not gonna buy these properties, if they're faced with $11,000, and, you know, that type of thing. They already paid the interest. And I understand where you're coming from. He was living there. There's
The
a
only
different
property
situation.
never.
But I don't know, my personal opinion, you'd be discouraging people from trying to improve property, buy property that's been done with this, you know, demolition. We're gonna have a lot of that. Y'all are doing a fantastic job of tearing down houses. But you're gonna have a lot of these lots available for somebody to buy. And so it's just my opinion on it. You need to take a good look at that and see if it does not deter maybe any development. I don't know. I don't know what the property is. I really don't. It's just off the top of my head, listening to what these things are. That's what we always look at the county when we did the same thing in the county. We forgave some of that because if somebody was gonna go in there and put a house on it, et cetera, we forgave the lien on it and all, and had a fee attached to it if we did that. It's just something to consider. I mean, it's just another option. Because everything that's been said is very viable. You know, her statement on it is very viable on it. His on it is very viable.
My concern is that because we are in the process of trying to eliminate dilapidated housing in the city, and there will be liens on quite a few pieces of property, that we'll be setting ourselves up saying, well, we did it for Mr. Eldridge, but you know, you won't do it for me, because when we spend taxpayers' money to remove those homes, then we're forgiving a loan to a taxpayer because, so that other people could pay the lien on the house. You know, it just, to me, did that make sense? You know, we're putting a lien on a piece of property.
If you bought the property and it was already, and after we had already demolished it and there was a lien on it, I can live with that. But because he owned the property whenever it was demolished, that's our king's fault.
If this was city,
Congratulations on paying off your taxes and working on it. Kudos to you. That's wonderful. And it's not personal at all. I want to be real clear about that. You've done a great job, an absolutely great job.
Taking like all of my savings that I have. You can't sell it. My health has been very bad for the past 5 years. I've just, you know, I live with my parents and
if this was taxpayer city dollars that was spent on it, that's different than grant money. The grant money cost us nothing. The grant money's sitting here.
The grant, then I would say, no.
So Jay, you're saying that, you bought a piece of property and the grant with the lien was forgiven?
Yes, sir.
With the exception of $500.
Yes, sir. Now, had it been city money, Mayor McDonald, the mayor at the time, that would not have been forgiven. They said they're not gonna give away city money, but the grant money that doesn't have to be paid back didn't cost the city anything. The city did have some legal fees in it, and that's what the $500 is for. And that's what I paid $500 for.
Is that what the legal fees come to?
Ma'am?
Is that what the legal fee comes to now?
I don't know what the legal fee is. It's,
In that grant, the legal fees were paid out of the grant.
Yeah.
Okay.
but when, 2018, when I did that, well, Judge Thibodeau was on the council at the time, and he's the one that facilitated that and did the research.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any other discussion?
Can we say exactly what the motion is and how much it's gonna cost us? Again, please.
It won't. The motion is to forgive the lien and the interest that's built up on that piece of property at 2025 State Street.
So we're talking about 15,000?
Well, if you include interest and the lien, it is about $15,000.
but Jay, like you said, I mean, it was grant money, you know, and it's literally not costing anything out of, you know, I don't think anything out of the city's pocket for this. I was living in a FEMA trailer on the property at the time, and I was tearing down the house. And they got this grant money, and the city, West Orange came and they said, okay, well, you're gonna have to move this FEMA trailer off of this property because, you know, and then they tore the house down. It was a gigantic mess, and it's just been.
John, do you have anything?
So this is one of the few grants that does not require, you know, the lien component. We do have other grants that, might put together that we will have to collect those liens, and they will have to go for the demolition or the destruction of properties to raise them for safety reasons or for other reasons that the city deems necessary. But this is not one of those grants. So you may hear other petitions come before council for that will not apply in that case.
By law, John.
Well, by the terms of the contract of the grant.
And some of them that make you require you to actually collect the fees or the costs.
But this one does not.
There more discussion? Hearing none, I'll call for a vote on, releasing the lien and the interest payment on 2025 State Street.
And question you, the motion does include the $500 administration fee or?
Yes.
It does.
Yes, ma'am. So we have that motion in second, and I'm going to call for the vote. All in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed, no? No. So I think we had, what was your? Oh,
42.
So it's 42, okay, motion carries. Motion carries. 42. I voted for it. All right, thank you, Mr. Weldon, we appreciate it. Sir?
I have $500 to pay if you want me to pay it now.
No, well, no.
I can come tomorrow whenever.
Yeah, you need to come up here tomorrow and, who would we? Tomorrow morning.
We'll have to prepare the releases.
Yeah. We expect to have this in a day. It's not fine.
Let us call you and let you know when we're ready to actually proceed to payment. Okay?
Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Bell.
Thanks, Jeff.
All right, we're gonna move on to item number 10, discussion and possible action on ordinance number 479, and ordinance authorizing the settlement of the proposed rate increase of Energy Texas, Inc. Finding that the meeting complies with the Open Meetings Act, making other findings and provisions related to the subject and declaring an effective date. We have a motion to, take action on ordinance number 479,
I'll second it.
and we have a second. Is there any discussion?
I have a question. It's well. Are we aware, are any other municipalities, refuting this request or denying this request for the increase?
I don't know of any that are denying, but I do know that we have a law firm representing it and multiple others.
Against it
So,
or against the increase? That's what I-
against it, well, against the total increase, what they settled on is
The 54 million.
about 50-something% increase.
There should be, I don't know of any that are not approving this.
They're not, the new settlement. not the-
Right.
The new settlement. Okay.
And this rate, according to the chart that's been given, is, will cause your, well, it says 1,000 kilowatt, per 1,000 kilowatt will go up $7. So it gives an example of $140 bill and proposed settlement rate will be 147, so.
Yeah, I think it was a 58% decrease in the request. Yeah.
58% decrease in what they would request. Correct. And, you know, you can understand it. Not the only thing that they're asking for rate increases on. So we have a motion for possible action on ordinance 479 and a second. Is there any second to that? Marita made a motion. Lane second, okay. So, is there any other discussion?
With the research that I did, they haven't had a rate increase within the city for 10 years.
Yeah, with the fuel increase.
So, is there any other discussion? Hearing none, I'll call for vote. All in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed, no. Motion carries. Discussion, item number 11, discussion and possible action on authorizing the mayor to execute a contract to grant administration services with Trailer and Associates for the city's CDBG-DR 2019 flood grant for flood and drainage improvement.
I'll make a motion that we authorize the mayor to execute a contract for grant administration services with Trailer and Associates for the city's CDBG DR 2019 flood grant for flood and drainage improvements.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, I'll call for a vote. All in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed, no. Motion carries. All right. Discussion and possible action on authorizing the mayor to execute, this is item number 12, to execute a contract for grant administration services with Trailer and Associates for the city's CDBG-DR 2019 flood grant for street improvements.
I'll make a motion that we authorize the mayor to execute a contract for grant administration services with Trailer and Associates for the city's CDBG-DR 2019 flood grant for street improvements.
Second.
We have a motion and a second on authorizing the mayor to execute the contract for grant administration service with Trailer and Associates for the CDBG-DR 2019 flood grant for street improvements. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, I'll call for a vote. All in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed, no. Motion carries. Discussion and possible action on a rate increase, item number 13, from Piney Woods Sanitation for sanitation services pursuant to the contract.
I'll make a motion that we take action on a rate increase from Piney Woods Sanitation for sanitation services pursuant to the contract.
Second.
We have a motion and a second for the rate increase for Piney Woods Sanitation. Is there any discussion?
How, this is my first year, so, or about to finish my first year, but, when was the last request for a rate increase, and, how many rate increases have we had, say, over the last 5 years?
No, we've had two within the last 2 years.
So I think that's what I was just thinking about. With this,
Last year was because of the increased fuel prices. But since then, actually, the fuel prices have gone down somewhat. I don't know, but somewhat.
Depends on where you buy your fuel and what's it.
So they're asking for 92 cents per month, and the city will be able to absorb that, so we won't have to pass it on to our citizens.
We will not have to.
No. City can absorb that.
Would you like to get a opinion?
oh, I can't, don't mind. We also are having, landfill coming up increase. We've been with Beaumont Landfill for a long time. And they haven't done a price increase in like 15 years, so that's coming up in October. That's one thing we're gonna face. Plus, we are having to pay our employees more money just to get them to work. I mean, everything's just so much more expensive now. So we're asking for a CPI increase is what we were asking for. So if y'all have any questions, I'll be more than happy to answer them.
So you said the city will absorb the difference?
Yes, that 2 cent increase. We'll probably go up on some of the other rates, the bigger dollars, and stuff like that, but.
And insurance too. Everything's just so much more expensive than it was.
Yes.
Is there any other discussion? Thank you. Hearing none, I'll call for a vote. All in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed, no. Motion carried. Item number 14. Discussion of possible action on the assignment of the Piney Woods sanitation contract.
I make a motion that we approve the assignment of the sanitation contract.
I'll second that.
We have a motion and a second to, take action on the assignment of the Piney Woods sanitation contract. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, I'll call for a vote. All in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed, no. Motion carried. Discussion and possible action on a rate increase for alternate waste services. I hinted at that a few minutes ago.
So Mayor, I would like to request that we consider increasing the C&D, which is the curbside pickup of construction and demolition waste, from $20 a cubic yard, which is what we currently charge the citizens, to $30 a cubic yard to offset the increased price at the landfill that we pay as the city, going to Newton County landfill, which is also waste management, and the increased fuel prices, which have come down, but we anticipate that they will go back up.
I'll make a motion that, we approve the rate increase for alternate waste services.
Second. Go ahead, Marty.
No.
All right, we have a motion and a second for, rate increase for alternate waste services. Is there any more discussion? Hearing none, I'll call for a vote. All in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed, no. Motion carried. Item number 16, discussion of possible action on a resolution amending the budget to fund the purchase of security cameras for court.
Mr. Mayor, go ahead, read it.
No, go ahead.
No, you're a better reader than I am. Go
I
ahead.
just make a motion that we amend the budget to fund the purchase of security cameras for the court.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to amend the budget for, funding the purchase of security cameras for court. Is there any discussion?
And they have the funds in their,
Yes.
the budget already, so.
Yes, they do.
So basically, it's like a line item transfer type thing. Okay. Have no discussion.
Is there any other discussion? Hearing none, I'll call for a vote. All in favor, for the resolution amending the budget to fund the purchase of security cameras for court, say aye. Aye. All opposed, no. Motion carried. Item number 17. Discussion and possible action on reviewing and approving the City of West Orange investment policy.
I'll make a motion that we review and approve this City of West Orange investment policy. Second.
We have a motion and a second for reviewing and approving the City of West Orange investment policy. Y'all have a copy of that. I hope you reviewed it. If you did review it, you'd see that, Teresa and I are the ones that are supposed to direct investment in the city. And so we have been doing that with First Financial in the past. We have become aware of Tex Pool and Lone Star Pool, is that too? Chief Stelly has alerted us to those opportunities where we, for example, for the last 6 months, we've made on over $6 million, we've made $32,000 interest payments around that. I'm giving you about numbers. And so, with Tex Pool or Lone Star, Tex Pool pays 4.8 to 4.9% interest. And for that amount of interest, if it stays at that, You know, I'm gonna use a round number of $50,000. 5% would be $50,000 in the million per year. Well, if we're investing $6 million, just, you know, making it easy to figure out, well, that's $300,000 that we would get versus 50 or 60, which is what we've been getting from our investors.
Do we need to include, or amend the motion for specific, investment pool, tax pool or Lone Star? Or is that just something, or amend it so that you can make that final decision? Or you
Well,
can?
Next to the,
That's the correct way.
the next time.
That's okay.
Yeah. And so,
Thinking ahead.
that's right. So what we're doing now is asking the council, I believe, to approve the investment policy. And, one of the reasons we need to do that is the tax schools or Lone Star both require an up-to-date investment policy. So we,
The first,
Teresa and I have reviewed that.
first step.
Yeah. And so approving that allows us to move forward within the next probably couple of weeks or so, making those investments. Chief, would you like to say anything about the investment we're talking about?
No, we're still on the,
Oh, okay. Go ahead. All right. So we have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion, any more discussion? Hearing none, I'll call for vote. All in favor on approving the city of West Orange investment policy, say aye. Aye. I'm sorry, a little early on that. All opposed, no. Motion carried.
Thank you, all, Teresa.
And Chief Stelly for helping us get there. All right, item number 18, discussion and possible action on selecting a public entity investment pool for city investments and further authorizing the mayor to execute any and all resolutions and documents associated with participating and investing with the selected firm and further designated authorized representatives to have access.
That's the move.
Second.
We have a motion and a second on selecting a public entity investment pool for city investments and authorizing the mayor to execute any and all resolutions and documents associated with participating and investing with the selected firm and further designated authorized representatives to have access. So, do we have discussion now? We have a motion and a second, so do we have a?
so before you get too far, I think you need to select the firm in the motion.
Okay,
One of the two, or there's others out there, these are the biggest two that are popular in Texas.
Are they comparable in their,
Very,
interest rates?
interest rate and fees are balance out.
That makes sense.
it's pretty much the same.
And
The tax pool is administered by the comptroller's office. It has, their administrator is $700 billion in assets. The Lone Star is administered by TASB, which is Texas Association of School Boards, and it's got 21 billion in it. Fees and expenses are about the same.
so we need to make a motion to choose one or just?
Okay, all right,
Amend it to, choose Lone Star. Do we get the motion? Make a motion.
I think we need to, do we need to make this a specific pool or can we?
I prefer that for
Tax pool?
the school board, so that, I really
Oh,
would.
I see that, the tech, which one?
Lone Star
Tax
School
pool
Board,
is the larger.
Okay, okay.
the tax pool is
Let's do that.
controlled by the comptroller and the others by the school, the Texas Association.
Right.
That's my personal opinion.
Whoever made the motion could amend it,
Maria,
or you could do that to amend it.
Okay. Okay, so I amend it, and I make a motion that we, take action selecting a public entity investment pool, which would be text pool. The city investment and further authorizing the mayor to execute any and all resolutions, documents associated with participating and investing with the selected firm, and further designating authorized representatives to have access.
A second.
So we have a motion and a second. Is there any other discussion? All right, hearing none, I'll call for vote. All in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed, no. Carried. All right. Move on to item F, announcements. Next regular council meeting will be Monday, June the 12th, 2023 at 5 p.m. Meeting is adjourned.